Hi, folks. We're in part 3 of my connections little mini series of how to connect slope and the distance formula. And what I'd like to do is I'm just going to find the slope, the midpoint, and the distance between these 2 points. And I'm going to do it in my head first. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use my shortcut. Well, the first thing, I'm going to go ahead and find the slope. So the slope happens to be 12. All I'm doing is subtracting over 9. Now, I'm not going to reduce this for a reason, because I'm going to use these two numbers to help me find the distance. And the distance is equal to the square root of 12 squared is 144, plus 9 squared, which is 81. And it just so happens that when I add those together, I get the square root of 225. And hopefully you know that that's a perfect square. 225 is a perfect square, and that my distance is equal to 15. Now, in order to find my midpoint, I am simply going to add my x's together and divide by 2. I'm just going to write the midpoint like this. 4 and -5, when I add them together, I get -1 over 2. I'm adding them and dividing by 2. 5 and -7 gives me -1 when I divide it by 2, and I'm done. There is midpoint, the slope, and the distance for these 2 points. Now, I could go with the drawing and I could estimate it and I could count it and I could do all those things, but it's much easier than putting them all into the formulas. And I just want to remind everybody what I'm literally doing is for the slope, I'm taking y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, and that happens to be 5 minus -7. Oh no, don't tell me it's doing this again. Stupid thing. That is really irritating. I'm getting some really bad pop-ups, so I'm gonna have to work on that. Anyway, so y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, and I am going to subtract 5 minus -7. Now, I did this in my head, and it's a good idea to be able to, and I did 4 minus -5 in my head as well. So that is going to be 12 over 9 for my slope. And when I did the distance formula, which some people are aware is the square root of y2 minus y1 squared plus x2 minus x1 squared. All I did was take this number, which is right there, and took this number, which is right there, and I took the square root of 144 plus 81, which is the square root of 225. And I'm all done. The distance was 15. So I have a slope and a distance and a connection between them. One more time, I'd want to point out that this really is true. I have -5, -7. And I have 4, 5 right here. Now, the distance between these 2 points can be found by using this Pythagorean theorem, because this happens to be a right triangle right here. Hopefully you can see that this is on my y-axis, this is my -7. And when I go all the way up to here, which is 5, the difference between these is 12. That means I went up 12, and from -5, this is the x is -5, and this x over here is at 4, which gave me a distance of 9, didn't it? Sorry, I should get rid of that. That's confusing. Okay, I'm just going to say this little piece right here is 5. So this distance is 9. And 12 squared plus 9 squared equals c squared. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. And it happens to be the square root of 225. And c is equal to 15. Let's see if my midpoint looks like it's in the right place. Negative 1/2, negative 1, which is right there. And that definitely looks like it's in the middle. Hopefully you'll get some practice in and try some of your own. And I'll see you back again sometime. Bye-bye.